Hey, good morning, my friends. I'm Live Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. I just realized I forgot to update my little blurb and the date. So this is Thursday, April 27th. And yes, some of us have some sunshine on the way. Let's get to it. Um, what we're faced with is we still have a very less than desirable weather pattern shaping up by late in the weekend into the first half of next week. We're going to look past that. What you pay me for, well, yeah, I guess what you pay me for, what MLive pays me for, is not to just regurgitate what a model says. I've got to figure out which one has the right answer and how long this cold spell will last. And for that, I think in this situation, we should use what's called the ensemble mode of the two best models, the European and the US model. Now, the ensemble mode, remember, is when you take a model and change the starting conditions a little bit. They do that 31 different times on the European. I think it's something like 50 on the US model. And so you get an average, which can help toward the end of it. And you'll see what I mean here when we get to it. All right. So, hey, good morning, Sue Escalinen. Thank you. All right. Wayne's running the fans in the orchard to keep the frost off of our fruit. Thank you very much. So, rain and snow coming across the UP, draping back into northern Wisconsin, and it will pretty much stay in that region. Here's a look, a little bit bigger picture. Notice out to the west, the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming. That's the next storm system, part of the next storm that will be dropping in from the northwest. That one drops in from the northwest, one comes from the south, and the two merge as we get into the end of the weekend and then pull the colder air down and kind of settle in over us. But the satellite picture right now shows you that we do have a wedge of sunshine, basically most of lower Michigan, except from, say, Traverse City to the bridge. But our region of southern half of lower Michigan right now, beautifully sunny. And even, well, Susan Wallace just verifies going north up to Manton. It looks good at the moment. So expect a nice sunny day in the southern half of the state, let's say, for Grand Rapids, Muskegon, Saginaw, Bay City, Flint, the Thumb, all the way through Ann Arbor, especially Ann Arbor in the Detroit area. Now, we're going to look at the European model and show you what's going to happen here over the next, well, especially into early next week. So, we'll call it a dry day today, unless you're in the UP, and Friday. And we're going to look at this a little closer too. Scott, rubbing it in. It's beautiful here in Cape Coral. I'm assuming you're talking about Cape Coral, Florida. Friday afternoon, Friday evening. So we're going to get a rain that moves into the southern part of the state. I'll look at that closer with you in just a moment here. So that's one piece of the storm system. It lifts north and it joins the storm that's over in Montana. And then here we go with the colder wraparound. So this is Sunday. This is Monday. This is Monday night. I feel like Tuesday morning, we could wake up to some snow on the ground in the southern, anywhere across Michigan. It looks like with the storm center right smack dab over the middle of our state. That's a cold storm center. And then as we go into Tuesday, it's still got the grips on us. By Wednesday, it's let up, moved off. And yesterday, remember I showed you the cold pocket tried to come back really strongly at the end of the forecast. This is next Friday, and it's indicating a northeast wind, but it's indicating the cold air trying to come back. But today, it's a lot less, and that's my point. This is what we've just looked at as what's called the deterministic mode of the European. So that is the mode that is usually the most accurate in the short term is, I guess, the way I would say it. In the long term, though, it flip-flops a lot when you get out to 9 and 10 days. But when we go to the ensemble, we get more of a grouping of what all those iterations would look like. And I'll show that to you in just a second also. So stick with me here. You're getting some guts of meteorology. Betty Collins, we're getting into the close-ups of the weekend right now. So this is today, and the rain is across the UP. This is tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. This is 1 p.m. So the rainfall that you see, Kylie Aldridge, so rain all weekend? No. You could have rain at any time, but rain all weekend? No. Emphasize no on that. We're getting into that right now. So this is the rainfall accumulation between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. on Friday. So Lansing, you're going to be wet. Ann Arbor, Detroit, Monroe, Adrian, maybe up to the Flint area, maybe not into Grand Rapids through 1 p.m. And then we go from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Friday, and it's wet. Oakland County, all the Detroit area, Ann Arbor, Jackson, Lansing, up to Flint, up to Saginaw, over to Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, you're kind of on the damp side. Tom Ramsey mowing the lawn tomorrow in Freeport. Rain? Yeah, right on the edge. This is Friday evening. The wet weather moves up into the thumb, into the northeast. This is Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. The wet weather moves into the northeast. It's not raining. Morning into early afternoon Saturday in Traverse City, in Ludington, in Manistee, in Muskegon, in Grand Rapids, in Kalamazoo. Probably just spritzels. Most of the state, the rain would be in the wet in the northeast corner. And then Saturday afternoon. So somebody asked, Kylie Aldridge said, rain all weekend? No, now you get the point, is that there will be periods where it will not be raining. Look at this, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday. Most of lower Michigan dry, not terrible on temperature. Now, then we get into Sunday and the colder air starts to get closer. And remember, I told you that on Monday night is when the storm center, look at that, it's at about Big Rapids. And Tuesday morning, it's over Lansing, and that's cold. And it's cold enough aloft, and it's at night that we could have snow there. This is Tuesday afternoon. That's ick for May 2nd. That's rain showers mixed with snow showers. Maybe Joanne Somp. I like it better when you're wearing your topical shirts. I do too. In fact, I almost found a long sleeve shirt for this morning. It's chilly here in my office. Then Wednesday, the temperatures start to rebound. Okay, so now let's look at the day-to-day temperatures forecast. But hang with me. We're going to look at the ensemble forecast. You're with me this long. Hang with me. We're getting real weathery here, but we're going to look at the ensemble of the European, ensemble of the U.S. model, and we're going to look out 16 days so we can figure out when this cold blob dissolves, if it's coming back with another surge. And I think I have some answers for you, because remember, that's what you paid me for. Not just regurgitating what a model says. But when I know that a model is good, I regurgitate. So today, let's call it highs of about 60, where you'll get the sunshine, otherwise upper 50s. So not too terrible. Eventually, the chill will wear off in the afternoon in the sunshine areas. Hey, good morning, Christine Richardson. So this is Friday. Now it's going to be cooler in the southeast half where the rain is. Then you go to Traverse City, you get the sunshine. You might be 61, 62, maybe up to 65 in the sunshine. Saturday, depending on where you're at with the rainfall. Remember, the rain moves into the northeast. Alpena, Rogers City, Sheboygan, Oscoda, the thumb. For Saturday morning, that holds temperatures down there, but you get to the southwest, Lansing, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, you're in the low 60s. Ann Arbor, you're in the low 60s. Sunday, you're near 60. In the east, you're only in the upper 40s along the Lake Michigan shoreline, and the western UP is in the 30s. Monday, we continue to stair step downward. Yes, time to plant onions, definitely. I got to show you my garlic that I planted last September. It is up and nice. And one of the things about planting onions and garlic, very few critters like that stuff. Because it's, it must just not be some kind of flavor that they like at all. Okay, so Tuesday now with the upper low over us, I feel like that could be a little bit too warm. You're seeing a high temperature of 52 in a lot of places. I feel like most of the day will probably be spent in the 30s to mid 40s. Next Wednesday, we're back to upper 50s, low 60s. Next Thursday, low to mid 60s. Next Friday, this model, remember, in the deterministic mode. And by the way, these high temperatures are also in the deterministic mode, and it wants to bring the cooler air in. Now we're going to look at the ensemble. We're going to look at the ensemble of the temperatures just off the ground, the anomaly, and we're going to see if that cold air, you'll see the big cold blob coming down for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and hanging around somewhat, but then you'll see it dissolve. You'll see it on the European, you'll see it on the US model, and that's why, long story short, I think that the cold air dissolves probably between May 4th and May 8th, and then I think we are off and running. We always still have to factor in the warming globe. The underlying thing is that the overall weather pattern, if you average it, is warmer than normal. We get a couple of weeks of goofy, colder than normal weather, but when the furnace has been increased in size, the house heats up quicker. All right, so here we are with the European ensemble. Again, what you're looking at is you're looking at the deviation from normal temperature to about 5,000 feet up, and that translates to being cold or warm at the ground. So here we go into Friday into Saturday. Now watch as the cold air moves in from aloft. Watch as we get into Monday. That is about 20 degrees colder than normal through a middle chunk of the country. So we will not be alone. Now we're into Wednesday of next week, and we're into Thursday and Friday, still hanging on to 10 degrees colder than normal on average. Now we're into May 7th, still trying to be a little bit colder than average. Then we go to May 9th, and we start to lean toward warmer than normal, and we get out there to May 11th. It's the last part of the European run of this kind of mode, and we're starting to inch toward warmer than normal. By the way, May 12th, your average high probably mid-60s. So if you're average to above average, you're 65 to 70 degrees. All right, now let's see if the US model agrees with that. So we go into early next week. Look, it looks very similar, right? With the extreme cold for this time of the year coming through the middle part of the country, our region. Let's go to May 5th. It's still hanging on to the colder than normal weather. This is Saturday, May 6th. Now, this is a little deep, but I'm using the ensemble. That's 30 to 50 different variances all averaged together. So if all of the ensembles or most of the ensembles are colder than normal, it's going to show you colder than normal conditions, but it might be a little slow to react. Okay, so the cold could let up a little bit quicker. And then as we go into, just like the European, it shows warmth, the cool diminishing. Now we're at May 8th, May 9th. And now we're at May 10th, and we're at May 11th, and this one goes out a little bit farther. This goes to May 12th, May 13th, and the ensembles then are all showing about 4 degrees warmer than normal. So what I'm trying to tell you is weekend not a total washout, but certainly periods of showers. I'll have a post up on that, and you'll have to just track that over the weekend with me. Certainly Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, not really desirable anywhere for early May conditions. You could wind up waking up Tuesday morning with some white grass. It's certainly possible. It goes away quickly at this time of the year. And then we just painstakingly wait for the cold to dissolve. It's happening next weekend slowly. And by the second week of May, we should all be happy with some very, very nice weather. There's your weather update. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. Have yourselves a great Thursday. See you tomorrow. Bye.